What has been able to be done with the MCU over the past 12 years has been something truly amazing. The fact that they were able to bring all these characters, some of which who were fairly unknown, together and to make a wonderful universe, which so many people enjoy, is just something absolutely incredible. They have crafted 23 movies that at the worst are generally seen as just meh and not terrible, and then at the best are movies that are loved by so many people. There have been very few franchises which have been able to have anywhere near the same amount of success that the MCU has been able to enjoy. And with such a wonderful past that they have had, I can't help but wonder what it will be like over the next 10 years. So today I thought I would speculate, or more of create a wish list of what I want to see over the next 10 years with the MCU. Okay, so I have this list here of all the dates that I want things to be released. And we actually already know the first few things that are going to be released. And now with the movies delayed, Black Widow will be released in November. And then we will have Eternals. Let's see, I need to type Black Widow here first. Eternals will be releasing in February. And then we will have Shang-Chi in May. And then we know Spider-Man 3 is coming out in July. Having then Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness in November. Gosh darn it, I'm slow at typing. And then we are getting Thor, Love and Thunder, and Thunder. That doesn't say Thunder. In February, and then May will be Black Panther 2. And July we know is Captain Marvel 2. So that takes care of all the movies that we already know. And then we also have some of the release dates already for the Disney Plus shows. And I haven't heard that these are being delayed. I'm not sure if they're going to be. There's a good chance, but for now I haven't heard anything, so I'm just going to assume that they are coming out the original dates they were announced for. So we know in August is going to be Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Then December will be WandaVision, with a wonderful name. Then spring of next year will be Loki. Summer. And then we're going to have What If and Hawkeye. But I actually don't think that Hawkeye and What If will be coming out in summer and fall. I think Hawkeye will actually be coming out in winter, and What If will be coming out in fall. So then that leaves the summer date, which I think will be filled by Miss Marvel. I think they would want to get this show out pretty soon, as it's a somewhat popular character now, and it seems like something they would want to do. I don't know. That's just my guess. And there was also kind of maybe possibly a leak from Hasbro saying that it was going to come out in 2021, but it's sort of all up in the air right now, so I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to put it in summer 2021. So then, now we have all the release dates that we know out of the way, so the rest from here is just really speculation. So for the first of 2022, in these last two Disney Plus slots, I am going to put the last two Disney Plus shows that they have already announced, which are Moon Knight and then She-Hulk. And then, after that, it's completely blank from here. So the first obvious one I would put here would be the last thing that they have actually officially announced, which is Blade, because I mean I think it just fits nice with the October slot there, and it just seems right. So that's where I'm going to put it. And then from here on out, it's completely just me guessing. I don't really know what I'm doing. So this is going to be a fun list to look back on and see in the future, but we'll see how it goes. So then here for fall, I have an Iron Lad Disney Plus show, which is something that I would really like to see. I don't know what the likelihood of it happening is, but I'd like it. And then the real offshoot one here that I have is a Disney Plus show titled The Blip, which is something that I would really like to see. I don't honestly think is going to happen, but I would love to see a show centered around just human characters during the time between Infinity War and Endgame, and just see what the world was like during those 5 years. And then moving on from there, kicking off 2023, I have Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh, I missed it. Got my back here. Sorry about that. Ant-Man and the Wasp and Stature. Stature. That's not how you spell that. Stature. Okay. So now that Cassie has grown up and she can become her own superhero, and they can continue the naming scheme that they did with Ant-Man and the Wasp and just have Ant-Man and the Wasp and Stature. And yeah. And then in May, I think it would be a great time for them to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3, or Volume 3, however you want to say it. And then the end credit scene in that one, I think, should introduce Nova, which would then lead perfectly into the October, November-ish movie of that year, which would be Nova. And then for movies that just leaves the July slot, which I would guess would be most likely Spider-Man 4, as Sony seems to really like to release a Spider-Man movie every 2 years, and I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. So then, for the Disney Plus of that year, in spring I have a Rocket and Groot Disney Plus show, which I think would be a really fun show. Just set a show before Guardians of the Galaxy of Rocket and Groot just getting up to hijinks in space and plundering the galaxy. I think that would be a blast, and I really hope they make it. And then, let me see here. In summer, I have West Coast Avengers on Disney Plus. At first, I had this slot filled with Young Avengers, but I decided I thought it would be more interesting to do West Coast Avengers, probably just because I enjoy that team more, but there's also maybe some other few reasons that I just think it would make for a better show. But that's just me. You might have a different opinion, and that's fine. Okay, and then in the fall slot, I have Agents of S.W.O.R.D., which I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I would love a more canon version of that show, but in space. That would be awesome. Make it happen, Disney. And then for winter here, let's see, I believe this is where I put, yeah, War Machine on Disney Plus. I think he has a lot of potential to have his own show, and he hasn't really gotten an opportunity to shine on his own, so I'd like to see what would happen with that, and maybe it can be an awesome show. We'll see. Now for 2024, we have a bunch of sequels, as well as a couple of new properties. So it starts off with Eternals 2, which might not actually happen if the first one is terrible. I don't know yet. People might hate it, and it might make $0, in which case it probably won't get a sequel. But as of right now, I'm excited for it, so I'm giving it a sequel. And then we have Falcon and the Winter Soldier 2 in February. Nope, in spring. And then from here we get our first new big property, movies-wise at least, which I have as the New Avengers. I would really love to see a movie around a smaller Avengers team with a new cast. So have them fight some smaller villain. I mean, maybe not smaller villain, but some villain that's not gonna annihilate the universe. And just have maybe 6 or 12, somewhere in there, of the newer characters such as Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, those guys. I think that would be really cool, and that is what I want to see from the Avengers going forward. And then for the summer slot here, I have Loki 2. And then in July, I have the Mighty Thor 2, which is what I have decided to call the Jane Foster Thor trilogy, which I hope happens. We know we're getting Love and Thunder, which I would call Mighty Thor 1. hopefully we get a 2 and 3 because that sounds awesome. Taika Waititi is great, and I love Thor. And then here in the fall slot, I got Hawkeye 2. And, oh, that's not... I am dumb. This goes here. Mighty Thor 2 in October, leaving the July slot for a new property. You may have heard of them. The Fantastic... Nope, that's a $. A Fantastic Four. I think that would be sweet, and I would really love to see a Fantastic Four movie that is just like straight up cosmic instead of Earth-based. Just have the Fantastic Four do awesome Fantastic Four stuff in space and different universes, and yeah, go for that. Sounds good to me. And then the final slot would be winter, which is where I have oh dear, I seem to have lost my list. Give me just a minute. Here, winter, we will put Miss Marvel 2. That sounds good for me. Going on from there. Okay, so 25 and 25 is the year in which every single property I have is a sequel. So it starts off with Shang-Chi 2. Shang-Chi 2. Whoop, that looks dumb. Okay. Shang-Chi 2. And then we got Doctor Strange 3. Doctor Strange 3. We got Moon Knight here. I don't know why I'm going out of order, but that's how it be. Deal with it. Okay. Then we got She-Hulk in the summer. She-Hulk 2 July. We got Spider-Man 5 because it's another 2-year gap, and we need more Spider-Man in our lives. That's not where I meant to type that. That goes there. And then fall is Iron Lad 2. And October, we got Blade 2. And to cap it off, in winter, we got The Blip 2. Which is definitely not going to happen, but hey, I'm still putting it on the list because I want to watch it. Okay. And then starting off 2026, we get a sequel to the most needed MCU movie, which would be Nova 2. Then in spring, we get a sequel to the most needed Disney Plus show, which would be Rocket and Groot 2. Oop. Then, kicking off summer, we got Black Panther 3. That's sure to make a lot of money and be good for them. Then for the Disney Plus slot in the summer, I have West Coast Avengers 2. That says West Coaster. West Coast Avengers 2. I did it, guys. You happy at me? And then nope. And then Captain Marvel 3. Marvel 3. Agents of S.W.O.R.D. 2. And then in winter, I have War Machine 2. Because that sounds like a good idea. And you may have noticed I skipped this little October spot, and because that is where I have the introduction, that said War Machine, to mutants in the MCU in the form of the X-Men. Call it probably the Uncanny X-Men because that's a fun name. Yep, that sounds good to me. I would like to see them before 2026, but I think they have so much set up already that it's unfortunately not going to be able to happen until then. So yeah, that's just how life be sometimes. So 2027 does have mostly sequels, but does have one new property, and it fits the pattern of the previous year with that new property falling in October, and that would be Quasar. If there was one character that I could pick to have a movie in the MCU, well, it would be Nova. But then if there was a second character, I would pick Quasar. I've just always been a really big fan of Wendell Vaughn, and I really want him to get his own movie. I don't honestly see that happening, but that's what I want. So, yeah. That was a funny noise. Okay. Where was I? So then to fill in the slots here, in February I have Eternals 3. Yep, give them a trilogy. Sounds good to me. Then Falcon and the Winter Soldier 3. Give them a trilogy as well, because that sounds epic to me. Then in May, of course, you go New Avengers 2. That is not how that's supposed to be written. Okay. Then in summer, we have Loki 3. Then in July, we have a whopping Spider-Man 6, which I think will be the end of the Peter Parker Spider-Man saga. And from there, I don't know where it would go, but yeah. We'll see what happens. And then, of course, we have Miss Marvel 3 in the fall. And then capping the year off, we have Hawkeye 3, because that sounds pretty awesome to me. So then comes 2028, and the MCU will be 20 years old, and that was a... Yeah. As I was saying, the MCU will be 20 years old in 2028. And so the best way to start that off would obviously be with Wonder Man, because that doesn't definitely make no sense. And yeah, Wonder Man is for 20 years, because I said so. Ooh, that was a shaky. Sorry. I did not mean too shaky. Okay. So then in spring, we got the finale of Moon Knight in Moon Knight 3. In May, I have the Mighty Thor 3. Because he needs a May slot for his final movie, which will also have Jane Foster, but it will also have Chris Hemsworth Thor. It will be double Thor for the second trilogy, because it's mighty, and I said so. Deal with it. Unless he dies. Then he doesn't have to be in it. But actually he still does. Even if he's dead. Just saying. Okay. So then I got She-Hulk 3 in this slot. And then Fantastic Four 2. Because, yes. Then, that's not what I clicked on. Iron Lad 3. Blade 3, capping off a wonderful Blade trilogy. And then finally, to top it all off in winter, we got the Blip 3. Give us a nice Blip trilogy, and I will be happy with my life. And then 2029 is a bit of a year where a lot of them are movies that I really am not sure about, but I decided to put them there anyways. It starts off with the Wolverine, because a new Wolverine movie in the MCU sounds like a good idea to me, so, yep. Then we finish off the Rocket and Groot show in an epic conclusion, which then leads directly into Nova 3, Annihilation. Now, this movie, I think, should be an epic crossover similar to Civil War, as I've said in previous videos, and I would just love to see Nova leading a team of the Fantastic Four, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, and Quasar against the forces of Annihilus. That would make for a wonderful movie, and that is something I would very much like to watch. So then coming off the tails of that, I got West Coast Avengers 3. And then in July, I have one that is really maybe not sure. I'm not sure it's a good idea, but I'm gonna go with Doctor Doom. We'll see. Maybe that could be a thing. Maybe it's a terrible idea. Then the finale for War Machine. And October is another one that I'm like really meh about because it was an odd idea that I have, but I think a sword movie could be really cool. and that directly leads into the final season of Agents of S.W.O.R.D. And I think all these movies throughout like the past 3 years that I've listed off, 2027, 2028, 2029, should all have little Easter eggs and stuff and be setting up slowly Secret Invasion. So then once we get to 2030, you may notice that there's just 3 spots here. And that's because it's just 3 movies and not even a single Disney Plus show. So I think that year should kick off with a movie titled X-Men Secret Invasion. That movie should then lead directly into see where this is going. Avengers Secret Invasion. And then finally, in December we should have Secret Invasion the Super Epic Showdown Extravaganza. Because yes, that is the proper title. I do think that a better title could be created for these 3 movies, but I would really love to see the next 10 or so years of the MCU end in just one epic year crossover that was just 3 or however many parts that just all came to one epic peak, and just, yeah, that sounds like it would be fun to me. So yeah, that's really it then, I guess. What did you think of my ideas? Which ones did you like and which ones did you hate? Let me know down in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. I do really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to leave a like on the video and share it with your friends. And if you're new around here, please do consider subscribing so that you never miss a video from me in the future. And you can also hit the notification bell just to be extra super ooper duper sure that you never miss a video from me. But you can click over here to watch a video about Nova, or you can click over here to watch a video about Red Guardian. But that's all I've got for you today. I'll see you next time.